Alrighty, well, we're getting right at it out here. I just hopped on the kayak, threw all my camping gear on, and we're gonna go look for a spot right away. I've done one of these kayaking camping trips before, and the number one thing you gotta learn is consolidation, and that does not really align with how I normally roll. We're just gonna paddle along shore until we find a good spot, dump all this gear off, and then get to fishing. Typically like to pack pretty heavy, but you know, you're only limited to what you got. Haven't actually used my kayak in the channel yet. This is my Hobie Passport. I love it. It's the smallest one. It's like 10.5 feet. It's still huge for freshwater. A lot of these kayaks are designed for going offshore and saltwater. This just does the job just fine for me. H crate in the back with 4 rod holders. One of them I'm just using as a net. I got my 2 rods. I got a fly rod back there too. Yeah, I got all my camping stuff. I am so loaded down right now. The kayak is so heavy, I have no room. I got my tent and my sleeping pad up there. The back is all full. But we're just gonna cruise this shoreline until we find some sort of flat piece of ground to camp. I don't know what the camera does when it picks up crate, but all of this is a big steep hill, but it looks like up here in this cove, there's some flatter land. As you can see, we got some decent waves. Nothing crazy yet. It's only gonna get worse, but enough where I'm getting splashed. You can already tell how much less windy it is in this cove, and there's a lot more flat ground here versus back there. I see a big dead tree right there we could chop up for some firewood. Honestly, I'm just gonna settle on this right off the bat. I'm excited to fish. I'm not really too focused on the camping. This is gonna have to be it. We already paddled a little ways. I'm not gonna mess around looking for anything else too much farther down. Just wanna get to fishing. We gotta take these out. I'll show more about this kayak later. Just scrambling to get everything set up. I forgot my actual paddle. I think it's in Denver. So I'm using this little guy to steer me in today. That's all you need though. Yeah, this will be fine. No big deal. Right up on the shore. This is fine. Look at this, this is perfect. I was kind of worried about the firewood situation. All sorts of driftwood around here. Plenty of it. I even brought a little saw just in case, but yeah, no vehicles. Everything valuable is off, so let's just let's get out there. Big old Castmaster to start. Probably gonna use it for a while. Someone left a comment in a prior video saying Shimano is their go-to and that they have really good longevity. That's exactly what I'm looking for, so I figured give them a try. It's pretty bulky. You have to take extra steps, like not putting the paddles in when it's too shallow. And you can see this is super shallow water right here for a while, so I just have to walk it out, and it's not the warmest. You got to be careful with the fin scraping up against rocks. You know, obviously it's well worth it, but it's just not nearly as easy to launch and move around. It's heavy. This Shimano casts like a dream. Just wanted to give it a couple casts, but I'm really looking forward to trolling. That's what I'm gonna do for probably a good hour here. Get it way out there. Because they ice fish the area a lot. Like this exact spot right here is where I come, right in this cove, all along these shores. It drops off pretty fast. I need to install my fish finder on here. I have the mount for it. I just have to do the wiring with the transducer. But once I do that, I could have my my Humminbird on here, have this thing all pimped out for the summer. Tough bite so far. It's early, but gonna switch over to the good old Rapala. It's kind of beat up. We'll see how it swims. I have one more, but we'll see. It's fine. All right, we're gonna troll this around, see what happens. Fish on, fish on, fish on. Fish on the Rapala. Let's go. Oh no, no. Darn, that was the best one I had. Jumped out of the water. I couldn't even tell what it was. It was so far back there. Honestly, I probably had way too much line out. I didn't get a good hook set on him because I had so much line. Darn. Oh, it felt so heavy. There's gonna be no question when I get a bite. That thing almost ripped the rod out of my hands. That's good. That was fast. I hadn't been using this for 5 or so minutes. So I'm gonna run back. I'm gonna grab a water and a snack, and I'm gonna troll this bad boy as far as I can. So I'm just gonna get whatever I need from shore and then plan on being out, but so we went about an hour and 15 minutes there with no fish, but we had a good bite and we had one hook that jumped out of the water and then popped right off, probably because I didn't get a good hook set on him, but that is okay. All right, we're off. Yes, he hit it at the boat. Look at that, right at the boat. Tiny little guy. Jeez. Nonetheless, we are on the board. Let's get some more now. Oh, I'm just getting soaked. These waves aren't even that big either. I'm just hitting them at just the right angle where it's soaking me. I'm on and it's better, it's better. It's better. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. I gotta get turned around. This is a good fish. This is a much better one. Let's see, rainbow. Let's get my net. Nice. Nice, there we go. That's a better fish. That's a better fish. Just popped off, that's no worries. There he is, not too bad. Better than last. Maybe 14, nothing crazy. He's ready to go. This big rapple has been the lure of the day. It's got all sorts of chipping going on underneath, but does not seem to bother him one bit at all. No way, look at this. Pretty nice perch. I didn't even know it was on. I felt a little thud 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 and I just kept trolling and then it kept going. I was like, what is going on? But nice perch, honestly. The first open water perch I've ever caught here at this lake. I've got some through the ice this year, but nice. I'm gonna let him go, even though if I was targeting him, this would be a perfect eater. Doing this, I would love to eat him, but I have nothing to eat him with. I guess I got the pan and some butter. I could cook them in the pan. In theory, I have seasonings and butter and everything in a cast iron pan, so I could do them, but yeah, we'll let him go. I doubt I'll catch another one. Check that off the list. Now we just need a little bit more firewood. I'm gonna be cooking and hanging out by the fire for a little while before bed, so I might as well have a couple rods out. It's kind of shallow right in here, but I have no problem just paddling out a little ways, casting, and then bringing back in the rod and setting up some rod holders right here while I hang out. So I brought some shrimp, but I would like to use some grasshoppers as well. So catch a couple of those, put them in a bottle, and not have to chase them down later while it's getting dark. Well, I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't seen so many of them hopping around, but they're just all over the place. So I should be able just to scoop up a few of them and use them as bait. Well, I was able to get 2 of them. This is definitely more than enough for one bait, so I'll just throw this out there and then I can look for some more later. Well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back out. The weather's only getting worse. The wind is picking up, starting to cloud up a tiny bit. I just checked the forecast and it might be raining around like 9. I am gonna be able to rig up those grasshoppers and the shrimp, so I'll just fish from shore and then we'll just hang out. I mean, it's kind of late already. It's almost 6. I would like to take it out. If it dies down at any point, I could just zip out there. We're gonna get the fire really big right off the bat so we can get a nice bed of coals going. It's a beautiful evening, we're all set up. Everything's looking pretty good. Still not a soul to be seen, obviously. Not that there would be anyone else here now. Driftwood is great because it's so convenient. You can just pick up tons of piles of it, but oftentimes it's pretty light. I mean, I brought along a little saw and I'm just going around and chopping down like just big logs. Doing this with one rod is no problem, but when you mix 2, things can get tangled pretty quick. But it's so shallow in here, I have no choice but to kayak them out. I don't think I would catch any fish this close to where the tent is. I know shrimp seems like an unconventional bait for trout, but it works. Okay, shrimp out. Put it in our holder. For now, I'm gonna close the bail. Come on, grasshoppers, I want the big one. Give me a big boy. Man, grasshoppers make great bait. Stoneflies, grasshoppers, we've used them on the river before. You just, honestly, you don't barely even have to use a weight on the river. Alrighty, we got a really simple dinner. I just got a pounded chorizo here, which I kept frozen all day. I just brought it frozen, so it's slowly thawed. It's almost there. We got some tortillas, potato. I just cut off the end because it was a little mushy. I got a corn, you know, some jalapenos, a lime. I got some Mexican crema for the potato and the tacos, and then that's about it really. An onion, and then I packed some homemade salsa as well that I made a couple days ago. Melted. Ew. There we go, that should be enough. Take this bad boy and just throw him in the corner of the coals right there. We'll move some around him. Gotta put him right there. I like to do tacos all the time because it's easy just to throw whatever toppings you want in a bag and take them, and also it's pretty forgiving. It's hard to mess them up. Cool. Got a lime here as well. Awesome. Just leave it like that, squeeze it all over them, and done. So easy. Homemade salsa. We got a hot sauce, some tortillas, chorizo. Bada bing, bada boom. The corn is also very forgiving. You just throw it right on anywhere on the coals and it'll do just fine. Keep the husk on and everything. You'll see some of it start to burn up and whatnot, but that's just the outside of it. The inside will stay just fine and cook through and be just fine like the potato. This is such an ideal fire. You just get your big fire right there. You can see all the coals. I can just scoop if I needed to over to this side. I already have plenty right here, so I don't need any, but once these ones start to cool off, I can just pull whatever else over here. The wind in the morning tomorrow is supposed to be next to nothing, so as long as that stays true, we'll just get up, pack up whatever we need to bring back to the truck, and then just fish all morning long. I have nothing to get back for tomorrow, so we'll fish for a while for sure. Well, this looks like it's gonna make some good tacos. I'm gonna throw a couple onions in it for the final part of its cook. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna squeeze some of this lime in there. It's definitely done. I'm just gonna grab it. And that's fine. It looks all dusty like that. We're just gonna let it cool off and we'll peel it back and the inside will be just perfect. We're just gonna sacrifice. It's definitely getting there. Not done yet though, which is totally fine. That way we can keep our food hot. We don't have to eat it all at once. So the potato will be dessert. These rocks are hot. Some of them, like over here, cold, not hot. Not hot. Over there, this rock will burn your hand. This one, not hot at all. I'm just gonna have an assembly line of tortillas heating up. I'm just gonna do one at a time because they're always better when they're nice and hot. I'm just gonna pour some of this meat right onto here. Some jalapeno. Awesome. Homemade salsa. Some onion, and I'll do a big squeeze of lime. Right on the water. This is probably the first of like 5. It's great. Literally perfect. Unsurprisingly, my butter melted in its bag, so I'm just gonna kind of put the bag around the butter like that. It works. Try this out. It's good. My mouth is spicy from the tacos. Sometimes I'll go out and focus on spending 3-4 hours on cooking a meal, and other times I want to prioritize fishing and just hanging out and doing whatnot. So this is just like the perfect meal in a pinch. It tastes great. Here's taco number 4. Made it a little bit more presentable. I'm not gonna eat this yet. So I'm just gonna leave it here and keep it warm. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We put so much butter on it. Perfect. I packed some bacon for it. Gonna load it up with bacon, tons of bacon. Oh my gosh. How am I gonna even eat half of this? Is beyond me. Take some Mexican crema. Put that over all the top of it. Yum. Got this Yowza sauce I like to put on my potatoes. It's so good. It's like a mustard hot sauce. For now, we're just gonna watch the rest of the sun dip behind the horizon and hang out here by the fire. Yeah, so we will pick this up in the morning. We still have a rod out with some shrimp just in case anything goes off in the middle of the night. I got a bell on that rod, so if something does go off, I'll be able to hear it. Well, we didn't catch any fish. I'm just gonna slowly get packed up and then we're gonna work our way back. Piece of shrimp was getting so many little bites all night. At one point I picked up the rod and I was just holding it and I could feel them just tap, 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 tap. I don't know if it's like a school little perch or some small suckers coming by or what. I didn't bring a chair out here, so last night before I sat in the kayak, I was just sitting in the tent with it open. There are so many grasshoppers in here. Well, just like that, we're all packed up. This was a pretty good camp spot. I'd give it a B, B+. This isn't the first time I've done this before. I've taken the kayak out with all the camping gear before. This is definitely the smoothest it went. We've done it in the past where we're like hook a raft up to the back and carry like a Yeti and carry all this extra stuff, and that never works out. My rudder was bumping the raft and it wouldn't spin back and forth, and I couldn't direct myself with the wind. It was an absolute mess last time, but cruised the shoreline. I was just had my eyes open looking for a spot, and as soon as I saw this, I had a good feeling about it, and yeah, it worked out just fine. So I thought about it. I'm gonna leave this fire pit for now because I'll probably come back here even if it's just for a day trip and use it, but before the end of the season I'll put all the rocks back. All right, see you later, Spot. We're out. Here we are. Let's unload. In the winter, I ice fish right here. It gets super steep really fast. Like I'm probably in 20-30 feet of water right here. I just know from like the sonar. Obviously the water levels have changed, but like 20-30 feet's my guess. And I just do so good, like right in this little spot. First bite. See if he comes back. First bite. I didn't even know it was on. There he goes. Huh. Here comes the wind. I did a nice run all the way down that shore, came back, trolled across, caught that little guy, then trolled along that shore, and then trolled back to where I am here, and I actually just saw one following me here, and I kind of think this is just an example of if you know a spot. If you know a spot well, and you know it's gonna fish well, might as well just pound it. You know, especially in this scenario where I don't have a ton of time, the wind's picking up, so I don't want to go too far. You know, like right like that, just like that. Haha. Nice. Is that a brown? What is that? Nice, just like that. Sweet. It's a nice brown. Look at this. That's a nice fish. That's a nice fish. We'll take them. Bam, gone. Just what I was saying, when you know a spot is good, might as well just pound it, especially when the wind's picking up. I'm not gonna let it take me down there into unfamiliar territory. It may fish good for all I know, but hey, that's a nice fish. We'll take that. That is 3 species: perch, rainbow, and brown. That same red car up there with the rod holders was here last night. I wonder where he spent the night. We are out of here. What a great time it was. Thank you for watching. As always, subscribe for more. And I'm sure we'll have more videos out doing similar stuff to this soon, because that was fun. That was really fun. Kind of a pain at the beginning, but it makes it so worth it. So stick around for more.